Today we're going to make two pieces of tiny art. I'm going to start with a stamp. I press it on the stamp pad and make sure I get the entire stamp. Now I'm going to press it onto my tiny piece of paper. We're going to do something called embossing, and there is embossing powder at your table. As soon as your stamp is done, you put it down into the embossing powder, and then you shake it off. You want to make sure to keep that powder on the tray. It's very expensive, and we want to make sure that we have plenty. Then you bring it to me. Embossing powder is reactive to heat. I will run a heat gun over the embossing powder, and it melts it into your ink. The next thing we're going to do is use markers to add color to the white parts of our stamp. I'm using pink here, and I'm being sure to keep it away from my pink ink because otherwise my flower won't stand out. I'm switching colors whenever I'd like. Maybe I'll put some blue in the middle here. I'm being sure to cover up all the white and to use good craftsmanship. I'm really filling. It's not a scribble line. I'm covering up all those little peekaboo spots of white. They're a little blue around the corners, and I need to go back in and just kind of fill those white spots that I left on my first time coloring. Now that my white is covered, I'm going to take a paintbrush and I'm going to use it to spread the ink around. This turns it into more of a watercolor painting and less of a drawing. It's okay to go over my embossed area because it will not react to the water. Then I will repeat this to make a second piece of tiny art. One of our pieces of tiny art we will be framing and hanging in the school. So you'll pick which one you would like to frame for the hallway. You're going to put glue on the back of that piece and you'll stick it to a yellow frame. I want to make sure that I get plenty of glue so it's not puffing off, especially around the corners. And then I'm going to apply pressure, and I like to even flip my paper over and kind of give it a back rub to make sure that it's really stuck on there well. Now I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to use metallic crayons to design my frame. I think I'm going to make a swirly waving line, maybe a zigzag line around the corners here. And I think I want mine to be symmetrical, so I'm going to repeat that zigzag line on the other side. And I'm going to repeat that wavy swirling line on the bottom. Now I still think it needs a little more detail. So I'm going to go in and make some dots, I think. And again, if I want it to be symmetrical, I'm doing the same thing on the other side. Now, if I like, I have glitter glue. You may use only dots of the glitter glue. You're not putting on much. If you have trouble, just ask me for help. I'm glad to help you, and you can point to the spaces where you would like your dots of glitter glue. Again, I think I want it to be the same. So I'm going to add dots along that side and maybe some around the center here. My other piece of tiny art will not be framed. We are going to participate in a trading program with another school. We'll send it for kids around the world, and kids from around the world are going to send art to us. I think they'll love our beautiful tiny art.